These are snow Amano shrimp, and we're going to be taking a close look at the actual snowballs. Yes, those are the eggs of the white Amano shrimp. We'll be getting a close look at here. She's currently in the back enjoying some food. We're going to be talking about some secrets, some tips, some tricks. These are colorful Amano shrimp, and they're fairly new to the aquarium hobby. They've only been available in the United States for about a year now, and there's only a select few sellers that are importing them. Now, the yellow Amano shrimp, much like the white ones, they don't have any pattern at all to them. They're just a translucent, not clear, but just a translucent color. And this one, as we can see, is saddled. She's got those eggs developing on her back. And it looks like she's pulling at that Saltwater tank. As I told you before, I'm pretty sure they're able to eat that. But this is, without a doubt, in my opinion, the coolest color of these colorful Amano shrimps. And they really have a Neocaridina shrimp look to them because there's no Amano shrimp pattern. It's just kind of a straight, solid color. Now, I do have a couple of them that are saddled, and this one here is due to release her babies any day. She's actually probably overdue. But yeah, these yellow Amano shrimp are the most rare. They're almost always out of stock and kind of look like she just kicked one out just then. I have actually, there's one here in the front of the tank. I've seen some larvae start to hatch. So this is a baby yellow Amano shrimp on day one. This is what you're most commonly going to see this if you have Amano shrimp. This is what baby Amano shrimp look like when they're first born. When that egg hatches and the mom kicks that egg out into your freshwater aquarium, you'll see these little things floating around. And I'm going to collect this one and put it into a grow out tank that currently doesn't have anything in it other than a single adult brine shrimp. So you'll see that you have a pregnant Amano shrimp, and then one day when you look at your aquarium, it's just going to be full of these little larvae. So if you want to, you could just let your fish eat these larvae. You don't have to grow them out. But if you do not move them to salt water, they're not going to survive more than a couple days. Now, this larva is doing in this freshwater tank exactly what it does in the saltwater grow out, which is more or less swim straight down slowly and then swim straight up slowly. Now, as you can see, it's just slowly moving down. And what it's doing is it's eating those tiny little dots that you see floating around. Those little dots are called paramecia. And we have paramecium in almost all freshwater aquariums. If your aquarium, even saltwater, if your aquarium is mature and has been cycled, especially if it has shrimp or snails in there, without a doubt, you have these tiny little dots floating around in your aquarium naturally. And part of the low tech method that I use to breed these Amano shrimp involves feeding the larva using this tiny, tiny, tiny little infusoria or paramecium. And when you first set up an aquarium, the water gets cloudy after a few days. That's a bloom of this exact stuff. And the aquarium hobby being the echo chamber that we are, typically we call it a bacterial bloom. But what you see is not bacteria. It's this infusoria called Paramecium. Now, I have seen on some videos people claim that it's just going to be so hard to tell male and female Amano shrimp apart with these colorful Amano shrimp because the yellow and the white don't have any pattern to them. But what I can tell you is once they are mature, they stay saddled or berried all of the time. All of the time. As you can see, she's saddled, meaning that top batch of eggs on her back is close to being ready to be moved down to her tail. So once she has the babies that you see under her tail there, As soon as she has those babies, typically the next day, she'll molt. And when she molts, she'll release a pheromone or a hormone into the water that tells the males that it's time for them to fertilize those eggs. So the male and the female Amano shrimp will get together at that point. You've probably seen it happen in your aquariums if you have Amano shrimp. The males get what we call the Zoomies and they just start swimming all around the tank. And it looks like they're chasing each other, but what they're really doing is looking for the female that's releasing those pheromones or hormones. So the day after this female releases her eggs or her baby Amano shrimp, she's going to release that pheromone and molt. The male and the female will get together, and then usually within a day or two after that, those eggs that are on her back right now will get moved to under her tail. They'll begin developing, and she'll get a brand new batch of eggs on her back that slowly develop. It's a nonstop process.